What's going on, YouTube? It's VFR. I welcome you to my new channel. And what we're going to be talking about today is what brought me to my new channel and my new book that I'm coming out with sometime this month whenever it gets finished. Had a problem with the editor again like last year. I did a YouTube channel, I failed. I did a book, I failed. And I learned from a lot of those mistakes. Hopefully, we'll see how this round goes. But had another problem with the editor, had to get a new one. Project got delayed. Everything is good though. We got everything coming in. It should be done this week, and then the book should be released within 2 weeks after this week. So let's get to it. What brought me to How to Restaurant? How to Restaurant was originally an employee handbook that I wrote back in 2010 at a place called Shaka's. The company was shooting from the hip. We all were, we were all discovering what we should do with the company. And that's one thing that a lot of business owners should actually do when they first open up a business. Not to say that the business owner was doing anything wrong. I consider him a great friend and love him to death. And I just want to go through some things that, some of the mistakes that I saw personally. And one of the things was not having an identity. The club venue restaurant that we had, there was actually three. There was a breakfast spot across the street, oyster bar, a seafood raw bar downstairs, and upstairs there was a Hawaiian theme nightclub venue. We did pretty much everything. So all together with the upstairs, the other two spots had their identity, the upstairs did not. And that's the main thing that restaurant owners don't understand, especially entrepreneurs, is that you cannot just open up a restaurant or an establishment at that. You have to have an identity. And that was one of the main things that we were struggling. We didn't know exactly what direction we wanted to take. So as I was helping managing and bringing things together, what I decided to do one day was, start calling weekly meetings so we could start communicating better and to come up with an employee handbook. And it took my time. It took me a while, almost a month, to write this manuscript. It took about, a day or two to actually get it out on paper and stuff, but to actually put it together the way I wanted it to, so it can communicate freely and respectfully to the staff without offending anyone. And also my colleagues, my partners, whatever, however you want to put it. Let me give you a little clue of what I'm talking about here. So this is the book right here. This is actually the Beach Tavern manuscript that I wrote. This was after when I left Virginia Beach and moved to Florida. This is where this is the book that I continued writing. Now this was, like I said, was originally for Shaka's. We had rules, wait staff during hours of operation. And to bring it back up, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place right now. We had the opening duties. It was very important. It just seemed vital and fundamental that you have instructions for your employees and even for yourself. Like the owner himself would sit there every morning and write a list for himself to make sure that he follows each one so he's successful at the end of the day. And this is also very important for your employees. You cannot just come in and open up a business shooting from the hip, because it may seem like you are thriving. Customers may come in and it seems packed, but are you efficiently and effectively bringing in those numbers into the register? Are your employees actually ringing things up the way they're supposed to? Are they accounting for everything? Are things being cleaned? And just in case a health inspector comes in and wants to, check out the restaurant and see if you're doing things the right way. Let me turn this baby off because it's probably buzzing right now. So if I took care of that. And sorry for the glare on my glasses. I'm trying to work on that. But anyway, you want to make sure that you're running your business effectively. And the one way to do that is by having a manuscript. Like it is like so important to make sure that your butt is covered and their butts are covered. This way they know what to do. They don't have to keep running to you every 3 minutes asking, what should they do next. That was one of the biggest problems that I saw personally while running a business, managing a business, working for a business, surveying businesses. It was just a disaster. They should know where the fire exits are, what they should do in a fire. You shouldn't have just policy. Like, it shouldn't just be rules and laws. Like, I give instructions throughout this manuscript, and then I get into the chain of command, and then I get into the actual laws at the end. In the beginning, it becomes boring and repetitive if you keep just explaining to people if they do this wrong, they're going to get in trouble for that. No, that's not the way it should be. Honestly, that's my opinion. I'm not saying that you should run your business that way, but you should encourage them to do the right thing. What should you be doing right, and why is it going to be effective? That's the most important thing, in my opinion. And it's been proven effective from when I've used my tactics on employees. And hopefully when you actually get this book into your hands, it'll be effective for you as well, and your staff and your employees, and maybe open your mind to a lot of things. Like I said, I have preliminary videos on my channel that you can scheme through. You don't have to watch the whole thing. You don't have to watch all of them. Just choose the part that you find interest in, because there's other parts, and I'm working on the bartender part now. Pretty much a jack of all trades in the restaurant business. I'm not saying that I'm excellent in each area, but I know what I'm doing in each area, and I know how to perform the job and get the job done. The most important thing, effectively. So let's get out of here. Let's stop this. Well, actually, we don't have to stop it. We could keep it going. So just getting on to why I continue to write this. Now, this book is literally 10 years old, and I continued, doing it more and more, adding and taking away the good things and the bad things of it. So, there was a problem in Naples, Florida. I'm going to tell you why this book, what prompted me to continue this book. There was a problem in Naples, Florida when I was living there. Landlord-tenant dispute. Long story short, it went to court. Lawsuit is still going on to this day. And I was sent out by my employers and now great close friends. I was sent out on a mission to go find them a business up and down the East Coast. Find a place. Let me know what you think. So not only was I able to travel to see my daughter back and forth, pretty much every month, I was also looking for a business, and we're fighting with the lawsuit. There was so many things going on, just trying to discover a business and where we can put one, and what were we doing wrong and what we can do right. So I literally sat down at all these restaurants. I'm talking hundreds, possibly thousands, who knows? Like, I didn't keep count. I mean, we're talking 2 years of just going out there and just traveling and going to different spots. And while I was on the road, I had to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So even if I went through a drive-through, I was surveying and paying very close attention to how the customers were reacting, how the employees were, how the managers were treating their employees, how the place was clean, what could be done, what couldn't be done. Well, I checked everything. My eyes were everywhere. And that's what prompted me to continue this book. I had to settle down for a bit and start taking care of my daughter, and started managing this last restaurant. I'm not going to say the name, but that was a complete beautiful nightmare, like I said in one of my little vlogs the other day. And that was what sparked me. I was like, look, now I was working on it and getting it complete, but now it was just like, now I'm definitely doing this, because there are businesses that are completely struggling out there, and that's just from all a misunderstanding. It's not that someone is incompetent, or they could be, but it's not that the owner doesn't know what they're doing. It's not that the employee doesn't know what they're doing. Sometimes it is the owner that they don't know what they're doing, and sometimes it is the employee that doesn't know what they're doing. However you want to look at it, all right? Not every situation is the same. However, the biggest thing that I see in the restaurants is a huge misunderstanding. People just do not understand. They lack empathy. They lack understanding. Everyone is out there for themselves, and they have no clue of what they're doing. Managers do not know how to treat employees. Employees do not know how to respect managers. Owners don't know how to respect managers nor treat them. And managers lack common sense and logic. And this is not for everyone. And I'm not saying that every business is failing. However, I really, truly feel that if you put a manuscript like I just put together that's going to be released in 2 weeks, if you put this in your employees' hands and even have them read their section, whether they're a cook, an employee, a manager, a general employee, I meant, a host, a barback, a bartender. If you put this manuscript, I'm going to have 2 books. The main book is going to be diving deep and pretty much dissecting each position in the restaurants, including the owners. And then I have a sub book, which is the simple read, which is just simple instructions like, what you should be doing during your opening duties and what you shouldn't be doing. It is universal for every restaurant because there are basic things that do need to get done when you're in a restaurant business, no matter what restaurant you have. There's universal laws: washing your hands, opening duties, closing duties, just common sense things that people. It's not that they lack full common sense; they just do not have the right inspiration under them and pushing them to do the right thing, the right way. And I really care for people, genuinely. Anybody that's ever worked for me and anyone that I worked for can truly say, yes, I've made a lot of mistakes. Oh, Lord knows. This book is based on a lot of the mistakes that I've made. But I truly, truly care for my employees, my staff, my colleagues, my coworkers, or whatever you say. I truly care for people, and especially the owners, because the owners are the ones that suffer the most in the end. And this is why I do it. So I want to bring you, just checking the camera to see if it's still going. I love this Apple Watch because it tunes in with the camera and I see everything's going. Let's make sure the sound is still on. Because, all right. So I want to go into, some of the things I look for when I'm surveying a restaurant, and where this is what determines what I determine when I go to a restaurant. So for the owners, employees, and whoever, I want you to know this is like inside that customer's head real quick. And I just want to show you something. And I'm going to do a little series with this too, pretty much Yelp reviews, like top 10, because some of these reviews are just like straight out ridiculous. And what sucks about Yelp, it can make or break your business. It's a great tool, don't get me wrong, but it can literally destroy you if you do not do the right things and respond promptly. So right now, we're taking a trip to Hoboken, New Jersey. We just chose restaurants, whatever. And what I do, I look for the most reviews. If I see like 10 reviews and it's 5 stars, a lot of the times it's bias. In this case, Hoboken is dense, so you're going to see hundreds of reviews per restaurant. And let's see here. Well, not for all of them, but the majority. So we got 500 reviews for this one with about 4.5 stars. Now that's not bad because 500 reviews, a lot of those people are random. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, this picture is a little weird. I don't agree with some of these pictures that are on there, but whatever works for them is what works for them. I like the style. You see, this is the kind of style I miss. This side street restaurant style, man. You don't see a lot of that where I've moved in the past half a decade. But let's see here. I saw one that was kind of low. And I just want to give you an example of just, see, that's good. 70 reviews, 4 stars, not bad. I would probably eat there. And honestly, a star is really not going to make me choose a place or not choose a place. But if you're trying to not be disappointed, you're going to go with the stars. But for someone like myself that has I'm transparent, I would say, when it comes to this, like, I see right through it. So 385 reviews. This is not too good. 3.5 stars. Let's see what's going on. It's public, so let's check it out. All right. So let's see here. The pictures look not bad. Okay. All right. I can't even pronounce that. Chukarama. I don't even want to sound stupid right now, so I'll let it go. All right. Okay. So we got good reviews. Good reviews are always good. When you see this in depth, that's when you know they really thought about their review. And I go through this in my book. I go through how customers should be reviewing people, especially this person right here, 691 reviews, over 600 photos. It's like, you know, if he put that there, it's worth reading, right? So same thing with this one. 3 stars, what happened? And they even updated it. So that means they were there before, they put 4 and then they went down to 3. So I'm not gonna go through and read everything until I get to my little top 10 series. But I just want to give you an example of like what you should be looking out for. If you see something which I'm not gonna, okay, here we go. All right, perfect. All right. This guy really thought, or person really thought about what they were gonna put here, and they only have 1 review. So it kind of seems like these people pissed them off so bad that they just ran on here, signed up for Yelp just to give them a review. And these things happen, man. And these things happen, and it sucks, but it's not too bad for the business because they have a lot of 5-star reviews. If anybody wants to come here and have a good time, they are going to go there regardless, because it's 3.5 stars is not too bad. But let's see, 1 star, 18 reviews. Probably not going to take them too serious, but okay. When the main dish came out, it was clearly undercooked, and the server claimed it was intentional, such that the customer can keep sending it back until it's cooked to their liking. Okay, I'm gonna disregard that one. All right, amazing service. However, their food is expensive for the portions they provide, and food can be slightly better, less salty and less dry. And the owner texts back. Let's see. Hi, Amel. Alme. Thank you. We are sorry you felt that way about our restaurant, as you have every right to express your experience. Happy holidays. Okay. You felt that way. That was kind of a weak response, because she has 141 reviews, and you want her to come back. You want people like that back into your establishment, because they are going to spread the word. If they have that many reviews, that's a lot. That's not a little. That's a lot of reviews that they have under their belt. And if they gave you 2 stars, you don't want the 2 stars, because each one of those 2 stars is going to bring you back to 3.5 stars, man. You got to get those stars up. So her response was kind of weak, and her the business owner's response was weak, and the customer's opinion was kind of weak too. Is vague. Amazing service, however their food is expensive. Like, what's expensive to you and what's expensive to someone else? It's really not fair to give them 2 stars. And to say that the food can be slightly better, I have to be honest with you, lady. That's a little unfair, very vague. There is no kind of story behind what you experienced. So for me, I would totally disregard that. And as far as the owner, you could have done a lot better on your response. But anyway, that's kind of the things that we're going to be going through in this series of How to Restaurant, and just educating customers how to respond. And of course, it's a free country. You can respond however you want. You can comment however you want. However, there are consequences for other people when you go flip off the handle and just say things. Look, I'm guilty for that as well. And I'm trying to go back to all of my reviews and, adjust them, because, I'm learning just like everyone else. But when you just become upset and outraged over something, just, 1 star, it destroys the business, and it's not fair. And the businesses also should be putting in effort to correct that as well. So I hope you guys learned something from this episode. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. I'll see you guys next Monday.
Found somebody who converted the silly hobbies to music logics. 10 years in this hard knock college, street knowledge. Time to make a profit.